I want to check. Do all the participants have the link to this mirror board? You can join the mirror now, and yeah, we can like see each other's position and operations.
Can you share it in this chat also?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, here it is.
I'll share. Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much.
Okay, so I think Ronnie is here. Maybe she can start slowly to give us an introduction.
By speaking? Should I introduce myself or just join you on the bottom?
Sorry, so the other presenter also called her Rolling. So
all right.
Yeah, I think the pronunciation, I may made a mistake. Sorry for the confusion.
Okay. Rolling, I think you can give the introduction. Like how can we start?
Okay, so hello everyone and welcome again to our brainwriting group B. And okay, really thanks Yang for your introduction of mirror using and the overview of the whole brainwriting. I'm Rolin and I would be the host of the first half part of the brainwriting after Yang's introduction. Now, I think we'd like formally to start our brainwriting, and now as you see, this is our first part, the icebreaker. In this part, we'd like you to write down the questions or the keywords, just what you are really concerned about using the sticky notes here. And you can see we already wrote down some questions and keywords as examples, and just try to write down your own questions. And of course, maybe some of these examples might be what you really concerned about too. And if so, just put a small emoji, maybe a smile face beside it. Just like what Yang have already done. And okay, I think now we can start now. Just try to write down your question and keywords as many as possible, and we will have 5 minutes to finish this. So I think maybe now we can start. Let's start.
Yeah, and there's something I forgot to mention, that we can like think aloud when we write down something. We can at the same time discuss with others. Actually, these are some examples from the workshop paper and also from the invited speakers, but it's totally enough, I think.
Yeah. Just feel free to write down anything.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about if the visible communication, like we design a lot of HMIs, the EHMI, the IHMI, but it's like another cognitive load to the participants.
Yeah, so so actually, I think most companies will design the light bar or something and using something we have already had, just like traffic lights, signs, and and put it on the AV, and but it's just the try and actually how efficient it is are not sure.
But there could also be an approach where you could use the infrastructure also to convey some kind of information, so that maybe the load could be not from the person who is actually intending to communicate, but
Yeah.
I mean, the infrastructure, I'm not sure about, for example, the hard is the infrastructure, or I'm not sure if I understand correctly.
For example, there could be a parked car which is giving the same information, or
Yeah.
could also be an example, so that the information is conveyed, but maybe not directly from the participant we expect.
I'm sorry, could you please share the, I think I got the wrong mirror board. I got the link to the other group, I think.
Really?
Could you please share? So I put all my questions in the wrong board. Sorry.
I think, yeah, maybe because of the email I sent you with the wrong link, but I can send you, how can I send you?
Just here in the chat, there's a chat. You could say chat and just send to everyone. Group B.
Wait a moment, I will check if it is the link. Here.
No, just click the share button.
Oh, okay. So I was also on the wrong board. Thank you for asking, Yuri.
No,
I'm so sorry. But
that's quite funny then.
Luckily, not so late. Sorry for my mistake.
Yeah, just like I see my questions, and there are completely different questions on the share screen.
What you have written down can't match what you have seen now. Okay.
No, now I have to remember because we can't.
I can copy paste it for you. If it's
you can copy
between
paste.
boards.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I'll already closed the other board, and I think I delete. Okay, sorry. I'll catch up. Just send me the link, and I'll. Here. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think time so it's almost up, but I think since some of us have already been here, maybe 2 more minutes.
Yeah, of course we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, many participants. Oh, it's also if there are many pedestrians, how to recognize that an AV is paying attention to which pedestrians? Yeah, that's a very good question. And also I also want to ask.
Yeah. And maybe we can make this question more detailed, just like which kind of information can be recognized by the passenger, like lights or.
Sorry, you mute yourself. The internet seems not so.
I go here.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, Rolling, I think we have enough like pain points of the trust calibration problem. And yeah, maybe we can move on to the next part. Thanks so much for the
Just okay. Now
questions.
just leave this icebreaker part, and I think now we can go to the part one. Yeah, the next part, and okay. After the short ice break, I think yeah, our we have already found many questions, and after the short break, now we can come to the part one, and in this part, we would like to feel the situations in the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant. Yeah, just the blue part. Well, as we can see in this axis, and we can see the x-axis means the reliability of AV, and y-axis means the trust. And so the second and the fourth quadrant means to kind of mismatch situation between trust and AV's reliability. Okay, which is exactly over trust and under trust. And this is where our research question and the trust problems happens. So now just please imagine the situation of these kind of trust problems, and I think we can start our thinking with our experience or of our research projects. For example, just like this picture, vehicles are passing the crossroads, and one passenger just stands in the middle of the road, and the other one just walks on the sidewalk. But what are potential trust problems between them, and are vehicles worth the trust? And maybe compared to the human driver, AV don't have an obvious declaration or its movements which can cause the under trust, or maybe because of the wrong propaganda, and the wrong propaganda would make the passengers think too highly of the AV's function, and that also cause the overtrust and may lead to some accident. And we can think this with our own experience or our research projects. And in this part, we have 30 minutes to finish this, and just like the last part, feel free to think aloud and write down anything you just think about. So yeah, anything else? Yeah, I think we can start now.
Yeah, we can just so in this part, I can imagine myself as a pedestrian, as a cyclist, or as a driver in this traditional vehicle, and have the communication with other cars. And I will like write down the situations or the ADAS function I have used before that caused overtrust and undertrust. Yeah, here are some examples. For example, the ACC function, adaptive cruise control function. If I use this function when I like drive in a curve, and I think because I'm following the car in front of me, but if there's a curve and the car will disappear from my foresight. So if I think the ACC can like still follow the front car, I will like be a very big trouble. So I think the ACC make me kind of overtrust in this situation. Yeah, so I can like write down the ACC function here.
So maybe let's just start our.
But could you also give an example of under trust?
Under trust, for example, I want to, for example, I'm the pedestrian here, and I want to go cross of the road, and I think this fancy vehicles will yield to me, but it's still, even though the speed of the vehicle is very slow, but it's still like approaching to me. It doesn't have a obvious deceleration. So I think it's a very fancy vehicle with autonomous systems, but I don't know if it will yield to me. So it make me under trust of the like autonomous vehicle.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, just very simple
Yeah.
examples here.
Well, yeah, what you have said is a good example, I think, just for the under trust. You
Yeah.
can just write it here.
I found which is attract me is there are some situations that the autonomous vehicles will be used as a shared car. So yeah, it's very because I yeah. So the vehicle by one time to move.
Yeah, well, it's kind of process about the public transportation, I think.
Public transportation now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think there are much more tips in the undertrust than in the overtrust.
So
Yeah,
does it mean
maybe
wait?
Yeah.
So yeah, now most of us don't have a very great trust on the autonomous vehicle. Yeah, we all have a lot of situations that experienced or have known from the news or from some public platforms that the AV can't be fully trusted. Can't be fully trusted.
Yes, I think most people will. Not most people, just more people will. Yeah, go for undertrust. Oh, and there's also an interesting sticky note and said interested to test the capability of AV dancing by playing with it. Well, this sentence is more likely to my colleagues who have who was a test drive driver take charge of the test drive in the company. I think, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I guess it's true unless you don't have some kind of laws or rules, it is going to be like that. People would just like to play and see how they would behave.
Yeah, and yes, he must be really familiar with that, with the AV. Yes.
True.
Exactly, it's a chance to make people to feel fun, and yeah, it's a kind of like a potential opportunity, maybe. Well, that's interesting.
Actually, I'm not sure how the kind of EHMI will be widely used in the trust calibration between the human road users and the autonomous vehicle. Is it will like be used in the like what the situations? Because I think in the normal days, in the normal life, we only use it in some ambiguous scenarios. But for the shared cars, but for the shared the transportation, for example, here mentioned by in the green sticky notes, I think it will be widely used in this kind of scenario or in this kind of model in the shared transportation.
Yeah.
When you mean shared transportation, what would you mean? Do you mean a shared car?
A shared car, yeah.
Okay.
I guess
So the
it could be both. Oh, sorry, Young, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
No, I put some of these green ones. I think we will be seeing buses and cars, and all of these are like a. So yeah, you will be riding a car without a driver, with lots of other people you don't know, and you need to trust it. You need to know. And today you have the driver, which is very. Basically, he is responsible. He like if there's a problem in the car, he takes. If there's an emergency, if there's something, if there's a problem between passengers, there's a driver who can respond and take care of the problem. There's an authority, and these cars will not like when you get in an Uber with another people, you can like report. There's still a driver, so you can complain. But I guess there will be lots of problems like that we should be aware of.
Yeah, I totally agree with this.
There will be a more important and more complex information that the vehicle needs to, must to express to you. But it's really important, but also complicated, I think. Also complex. Sorry. Okay, I think maybe time is nearly.
I think it's the time for the short break that we can like classify all the sticky notes here, and then we can continue for the next part about the solutions.
Yeah, of course, and I think almost all the information have already been written. So maybe let's have a 15 minutes break. And after 15 minutes break, we will have the next part. It's also really important. And we will also doing some work and to modify these boards. And so everyone, let's just have a break. And after 5 minutes, we will be back. Okay.
Yeah, so 5 minutes until
15 minutes.
5 more minutes?
10:15.
15.
Until 10:15. Yeah, we have 15 minutes. But we can like, if you're not so tired, we can still like have some discussion here.
Still stay here. Yes.
But I will like classify the overtrust and undertrust situations to our next board.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna grab some water.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah, see you later.
See you later.
Now what you have just pasted is the overtrust part, right?
Yeah, and I try to classify them as different cluster if I can.
Okay, so maybe I just work on the undertrust part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe here are some tips, and maybe it belongs to the overtrust.
Sorry, what's wrong
I
about
think
Mhm.
now I think there are some tips in this group are actually more suitable in the overtrust.
Oh, which one
see.
do you think?
This one I just
Inspired
from yeah.
I think movies of perfect future world. But I think if
Maybe
yeah,
not asking
if
later.
you no, I think we can like imagine in another way if this he can't believe this fancy movie. He think that the movie is so extracted. Yeah,
Okay,
could be
maybe
reasonable.
with this. Yeah, let us stay here.
我不知道我们能分类吗？把这些场景好像不太能。
我是想要分两个，前面这几个是跟外面环境有关系的。
嗯，
要不你们说的时候也用英语说吧，要不然别人听不懂。
好。
Okay.
I'm not sure we can like make a clear classify of these sticky notes, but I think it doesn't matter because it's not a single to single connection. If we classify it very clearly, it's not easy to do this.
Yeah, I'm trying to classify this, but okay, actually, the first line, there's some problem mostly caused by like the condition outside, especially for the environment or the system itself. That means the environment caused the system to failure or something else, and yeah, trying to classify it which one, I think.
I think it's fine. It's a time. Yeah, I think it's the time for our next part.
Yeah,
Welcome
so,
to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this part, we will discuss the potential solutions based on the proposed situation we gave just now. As you can see, we copied and pasted all the sticky notes here in the light blue or in the blue sticky notes. It's the situations about the overtrust. And in the black sticky notes, it's the situation about the undertrust. And so how can we do this? So in this, what is this, dark color, the dark blue color or the dark purple color, we will propose the solutions from both HMI-based solutions and also the non-HMI-based solutions. I can give you some examples here. For example, if I think, hi, welcome back. If I, the same example with the first part, if I think the autonomous vehicles deceleration is not so obvious. So I have no idea it will yield to me or not yield, because the speed of the autonomous vehicle is also slow. But still, I can't like to make my decision. So the information I need is if the AV intends to yield or it will drive first. So before we give the solution, we will have the previous step to think about why we need this situation, or why we need this information, or what information is very like what kind of information is absent. And then I have this situation. I'm not sure if I like describe it clearly. So what I want to discuss is about, based on the situations, what the absent information could cause these issues, could cause these situations. Then we can like propose the potential solutions to deal with this situation. And I think it's, from my perspective, it's not a single to single connection. For example, here in this situation, I want to this information, and I can use the light band, which was presented by one presenter yesterday in our workshop. But at the same time, I can also use the speech notification to give this information to solve this problem. So it's not a single to single connection, but it's multi to multi connections. So with one situation, we can have several potential solutions, or we can have several information that's needed. So yeah, we can get started with this, and also discuss with this at the same time. We can start with the sticky notes you have proposed just now, and then to give the needed information here, and then the potential solution. Just choose whatever you like. It can form your ideas and also from others' ideas. As I mentioned, it's a group work, so yeah, just get inspired by others.
So I can just choose anything which you are interested in, and anything you have any ideas, just link them and write down your demanded information and potential solutions.
Can I ask a question? I'm curious about the information of rules for the interactions. Could you give an example how to how can we give rules for the interaction? Could we do it from the education way, or could we do it like give some HMI to guide them to show them what the rules of the interaction?
Yeah, so I think I had put that, and what my thoughts
Thanks.
was, yeah, thank you. My thoughts were like currently we have some rules for normal vehicles and pedestrians and cyclists. So the prospect of having a separate set of rules when it comes to autonomous vehicles is very much important, because they are not just the cars alone, but they are cars with some kind of intelligence. So the idea of rules here is that we have some kind of legal framework in place which says that, okay, you cannot just play with the vehicle, and if you do play with the vehicle, or if you are seen to be playing with it, there could be some kind of fines or something like that. It also means that there could be some kind of EHMI regulation also in place, which says that when you're interacting with a person within so and so time or duration, the person should respond to the interaction. So if you show a EHMI saying that you please stop, the person is not expected to take his own time to stop, but he should basically stop within X amount of time or something like that. So it is, we are trying to make it more predictable, the interactions, rather than having more randomization in the interaction sequencing. So that was the
idea.
thought.
May I also ask a question? So I saw the problem like here, I don't care about the refueling or recharging. So what does that mean? That means the car will do that automatically, or?
Yeah, so I don't know, I might overtrust it, but I don't need to charge it or refuel it. Maybe I'm assuming it's automatic, so it just takes care of it by itself. But maybe I'll like run out of gas in the middle of the ride.
Okay,
or I run out of a battery, or So before I get on the car, even maybe. I don't know.
So you mean the car is fully automated, can also refresh itself?
Yes.
The car can take care of itself. We don't need to like go to the gas station or go to the battery station.
Yeah, maybe I'm assuming that it has full battery to get wherever I want, but actually there's not enough. I mean, the car should probably know. Yeah, I guess the car. If I order a car and it comes to pick me up, I'm assuming it knows where I'm going, so it has enough battery. But maybe that's not the case, so I'm running out of battery and get stuck.
Yeah. That's true. If you are on the highway and the car just tell you, I have no battery, you will never trust it anymore.
Yeah.
There was one point put saying information showing failure or problems should be made sure that it can successfully convey during bad weather. I'm just adding one more to it, saying bad weather or other bad scenarios.
Which one?
The one which I have just highlighted.
But where it is,
The one which I have highlighted, my name below. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen this.
So I would just like to add bad weather or other bad scenarios to it.
Okay. The conditions is
So I think it's also possible to show that for the vehicle or for the sensors, they might get overused. So because you think that they do not need to take a break and you use it all the time, I think maybe it's better to show the information of the sensor status or the failure or the problems of the sensors.
Yeah, that is a good point to have.
I found something interesting because even though we have classified the undertrust and the overtrust, but for the solutions, we can use one solution for both sometimes.
Yeah, and also, which is interesting, mentioned by Wuling, that some people, when they watch some movies about the fancy vehicles shown in the movies, some people will undertrust the autonomous vehicle after they watch it, but some of others will like overtrust. So we, as a human person, will always have the very different perspective or understanding of the totally same thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's a kind of propaganda, I think. And yeah, if it's not really professional propaganda, maybe that will lead to misunderstanding. And maybe both sides have the possibilities to lead people to be overtrust or undertrust. Yeah, one of my friends have mentioned that the studying or we can say learning of how AV works actually would be play a great role in the future transportation. And no matter you are a AV user or just a passenger on the road. And maybe that's a important point of the propaganda.
Yeah, I guess that too makes sense actually. As a form of a marketing also, that could also be a kind of way of conveying to the consumers of what exactly is an AV and what they are expected to think about it.
Yeah. So actually, whether to choose the AV to how to say to know AV as a black box, or people should learn about how AV works. I think I'm not quite sure about that, but for now, actually, most people, they treat AV as a black box, and actually, propaganda is really important.
Yeah, and I still have a question here because we like mentioned the HMI-based communication methods, for example, the light bind or the speech notification or the sound effect. But how do you think the haptic interface, like if you have a haptic on watch to remind you to see to watch around, what will happen to watch around to like pay attention to the AV. Do you think it makes sense or it's a ridiculous thing for you? I mean, the haptic interface. How do you think of this?
Such as haptics on
Which
watch.
question is it?
Because we mentioned here there are multi interfaces from the visualized interface, from the audio interface, but also we have the haptic interface. But how do you think if the haptic interface makes sense in the EHMI in the communication with EHMI, or it's a ridiculous interface to you? For example, the haptic can like appear on the watch or on your mobile phone.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. We're actually working. There's
Makes
one
sense.
of our students proposed. Is looking into. So you know how you have like the 10G blocks.
10G blocks.
So yeah, you know what 10G blocks are. So usually in cities, for people who can't see, for blind people, you have these yellow blocks where they walk with their stick. They direct you. And then when you arrive to a crosswalk, there's a 10G block that says you can turn left or right, or there's like a stop. So you can have similar things maybe on like the edge of the crosswalk when you arrive a road. It might have like haptic feedback that warns you. It's like
it is for
so
the
it can be like embedded.
people.
No, it can. So it can be for anybody. Like you can have some sort of haptic feedback embedded in the pavement. So it's not.
Do you think it's annoyed or it's compared to the visualized interface? Do you think it's annoyed or it's also makes sense sometimes in some special situation only use?
Yeah, I guess in case of emergency, it'll be nice because sometimes people, you know, you're on your phone or whatever, and you don't watch what's happening on the road. You walk, but then if you suddenly have some sort of a haptic feedback in your legs or something that makes you stop. So if the car knows the car can see you, but you cannot see the car because you're busy with you're on your phone.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I think it works especially for the people who have some problem with the listening. Maybe it's because compared to the sound effect, haptic is have some condition to use because you have to use it with the mobile phone or with the watch. You need another like wearable devices to use the haptic interface. But I think it's because I've entered some conferences and some of the researchers they have the negative status or negative attitude on the haptic interface. So that's why I asked this question.
Yeah, well, I just a very quick mention about I have seen a kind of design, and I don't know whether it belongs to haptic interaction. It's actually creating a kind of shape when you take over your control of the car, and in your car the shape will you know when the AV is yielding, and you don't need the steering wheel, and there's nothing in the driving space, and but if once something occurred and you need to take over, and there will be like some special shapes on your chair and on your steering wheel, and it will make you to how to say to turn into a condition with driving environment. actually, I don't know whether it's a kind of haptic, but it's actually it can really force people to pay attention to the road conditions. Maybe not only shaking information can be included in the haptic, but maybe also some something some special interaction ways we haven't used we haven't used so much.
As I find that we don't have a lot of solutions from the non-HMI based communication. It's very hard to like give a training in advance or because compared to HMI based communication methods, the non-HMI interfaces, the communication methods, it's like you have to do it in advance or afterward. It's not a real-time interaction. So yeah, I think that's the reason why people can't afford or can't don't have a very high passion to use it.
Yeah.
I think the HMI also have the function to do the education. Like if you use the HMI, you're like
maybe for the first time, right?
Sorry.
I think for the first time, maybe the system will have a tutorial, maybe, or you are saying every time you're using
you mean the training videos before driving? But I mean, education is like kind of if you use the HMI, and the HMI will give you some not a suggestion, but kind of suggestion to make you well behaved. So it's a kind of education to the road users.
Yeah.
I think it also, when it's a HMI, you can actually see others interacting and you could also learn from them. Mm-hmm. So you could see others nearby you, how they're responding to the signals. And then when you see them, that also could be a way of educating yourself if you're unaware or if you're like a foreigner to the new land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
It's directly visible to the person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Sorry,
I want to say that to learn how to use or how to communicate with HMI as the way we learned how to like use the traffic lights, the green light and the red light. But because now at present, some of the people can't, like they think eHMI is a they don't need this. It's useless because it's distracting and it's a extra communication and make the people annoyed. So I think it's another way to explain why we use the eHMI and how we can learn to communicate with eHMI. It's a new thing, it's a novel thing, but we still can learn how to communicate with it, just as what we learned to use the traffic lights. That's the good point.
Yeah, maybe that kind of teaching things will appear on like primary school for everyone, and and I have thinking about if you want to own an AV or you want to use public transportation, which is AV, and you need to accept a kind of tutorial before you get like license or like cars or something else, and just maybe kind of force people to learn that. Maybe at first you have to do like this, but after it, just like you said, just let everyone to learn it during their school life or during their everyday life. That's okay.
I
Um,
think we have to move on because
me
we're
too.
already.
Yeah.
This is what I want to say. I think we have to move on to the next stage is to sum up what we have proposed, both of the situations and also the solutions or the demanded information under the solutions we have given. And in this stage, we will choose a volunteer to do the presentation or to do the sum up in the main board after a while. But we have 15 minutes to do it together, and a volunteer will do the presentation for all of us. And also we others will be the backup and to answer the questions from other group. Okay, then we can do the sum up. But I don't have a very clear way or clear idea how we can sum up what we have now. Do you have some good ideas or suggestions for this? Maybe we can find the sticky notes with more connection lines that we think, oh, this is the information. It's very important to several situations. I'm not sure if it is a good way.
Yeah, we can maybe quickly rate the ideas and then pick top 3, and then so we can, for example,
Yeah.
we can use like these. So you can.
Yeah, we pick the top 3 sticky notes and highlight them,
So
and then
so each one of us can take. You see where I'm at? Like if you zoom in, we can make these stickers. So each person can take.
So it's like
each one has 3 stickers per person.
They like
And
vote.
then, and then you vote. Yeah, your favorite ideas. You can just copy paste. So we can say everybody takes 3 stickers.
Good idea.
So we rate the problems or the solutions. I don't know, what should we rate, the problems or the solutions?
I think both. You mean where we should start, or?
I mean, we can rate the problems, right? Or we can rate the
Solutions.
solution. I think like the problems are the most interesting.
So we
right,
start with the problems.
Because then like they lead to the solutions. And then we can present like the problems that were the most interesting problems that we came up with.
I'm done, I think. 1, 2, 3. We should have 15 dots here. 12. Still wait for the last 3 votes.
You can also give up, right? You don't have to with all your votes.
Okay, so we can
Yeah, no
start
worries.
with the overtrust situations here. Which have the most is, I think this two is similar. Wrong propaganda and advertisement for the business purpose.
Yeah.
It's similar. Yeah. So yeah, we will present these sticky notes of the wrong propaganda to the public. And the second one is I don't care about refueling or recharging. Okay, that's also interesting. And for the related to the undertrust, there are more sticky notes. The first most voted is interested to test the capability of sensing by the playing with it. I think it's very good training for the for the fresh person who is the first time to use the autonomous vehicle, because they have no idea about the function, about the capability of the autonomous vehicle. It's a good idea. Also, we can give some solutions about some gamified interface. When they drive the AV, which is stable, which is stop on the road, and it's like a simulator, a game simulator. Other one is the appearance of the car is fancy. I'm not sure it will fade to my from me experience. If it's how does it work in high volume traffic situations? Sensor attacks. So related to the undertrust situations, we will like present these 3 situations. It's not all of them about. It's very. It's about if it is like a black box and we have no idea of how it works. So we need the transparency information between the users and AVs. And so this I highlighted this sticky notes.
I think we can mention all of them because we have 7 or 6.
Sorry, how what I've said?
I think we can just mention all the voted points here. Because they are, yeah. So I have 2 from overtrust and 4 from undertrust.
Yeah, and now we need to find the
volunteer
solution. Yeah, volunteer first. Who would like to present our work, to do a summarize to another group?
I would recommend Yuri or Vinu. So one of you
or
can
both.
do this. Yeah, or both.
I think Yuri can take it up, and
okay.
I could follow up.
Okay, great, thanks. And now we can find the demanded information and the solutions by the connection lines here. Well, it's so many.
Right, so do we need to move this to the other? Is there like, where do we make this presentation?
You just need to copy this board to another board. Is okay, and then you just need to mention what you want to share. It's okay.
Yeah, I think we will copy it for you. So
okay, thank you.
Yeah, we will just copy it.
try proper marketing regulations.
So I think we can copy the whole block
Mhm.
group B back to the main board. I will send the main board link to us. Okay, the main board is already on the Miro board. So if you cannot go back, find the link back to the main board, you can just click the Miro board on the lower
chat.
part left. Yeah, there is a chat board, and you can see the main board already there from Yang Li.
Which one is it?
So on the left,
yeah,
right,
okay.
yeah, left lower part. Okay.
Oh no, I'm back to our board. Miro board. I keep getting to our board. Where's the?
Yeah.
Who shared the general board? Young Lee? No.
I will try to copy. No, sorry. I will try to copy.
First you need to unlock. Yeah, you have unlocked it.
No, maybe you can do it, Rolin.
Yeah,
Can you-
sure.
I think I made a mistake all of a sudden.
Oh, okay, put the link here. Okay, I see it now.
Wow, I think our information is much more than Group A.
Yeah, we need to find out
Oh,
place for it.
overlapped.
How can I move it?
Okay, I think that's fine. Could create
can
a
just,
new board.
Yeah, it's fine. I thought where's the board from Group A disappeared
Maybe a
all of a
board.
sudden.
Oh, I think oh my God. Have I deleted? I didn't do this. Ask them to copy it again.
Can you share the link for this Miro board, because I'm getting confused with a few of the board, if it's okay.
Oh,
But
the
you
breakout
need-
board. Here, I'm gonna chat here.
Here in the chat, the main board. So I think we need to go back to the big room of the tool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will see there.
Okay.
You.